Okay, so today, yeah, we're doing a deep dive into Renzo. The ticker is REZ.
Right, REZ.
And we're trying to get a handle on this whole liquid restaking thing, what it is, why it might be interesting for you.
And just so you know, we're working off info from around late April 2024, so it's kind of a snapshot from back then.
Got it, April 23rd-ish.
Yeah.
So liquid restaking, what's the core idea here?
Yeah, so it's fascinating, really. Think of it like this. Normally, when you stake Ethereum, it's kind of locked up, right? Renzo basically abstracts that away. It gives you a different token, a liquid token that represents your staked ETH.
Ah, okay. So you get something back you can actually use.
Exactly. And it simplifies working with all the back-end stuff, like EigenLayer node operators and those validated services, the AVSs you mentioned.
Right, the AVSs, those add-on services using Ethereum security.
Renzo helps coordinate that interaction.
Okay. And that token you get back, the liquid one, that's ezETH?
That's the one, ezETH. It's Renzo's liquid restaking token. So you hold that, you're getting exposure to the restaking rewards.
But your capital isn't just stuck.
Precisely. You maintain liquidity. That's the key difference from, traditional staking.
Makes sense. So where does the REZ token fit into all this?
Good question. So REZ is the protocol's own native token. It's for utility and, importantly, governance.
Governance, meaning token holders get a say.
Yeah. The plan is for REZ holders to vote on proposals about how Renzo operates. Think like key decisions about the protocol's direction.
Okay, so it gives the community some control. Let's talk numbers then. Based on that April 2024 info, total supply.
10 billion REZ. That's the total maximum supply.
10 billion. But what about the amount actually out there initially, the circulating supply?
Right. That's always key. When it was expected to list, the initial circulating supply was projected at about 1.15 billion REZ.
So what's that, like 11.5% of the total?
Yeah, roughly 11.5%. So, a fairly small slice hitting the market right at the start.
Interesting. And part of that initial amount came from the Binance Launchpool, right?
It did. 250 million REZ were allocated to the Launchpool. That's about 2.5% of the total supply.
And that launch was timed for around April 24th, 2024.
That's what the info suggests, yeah. Launch pools they're often a way to get tokens into more hands early on.
Kind of kickstarts the distribution.
Exactly. How these tokens first get distributed, it matters for how the token might behave later.
So beyond the launch pool, how did the rest of that initial distribution look? I saw something about airdrops.
Oh yeah, airdrops always get attention. 12% was marked for airdrops.
12%. Decent chunk. What about the team and investors?
Those were bigger slices. Investors and advisors got 31.56%. The team itself was allocated 20%.
Okay, so over half right there between investors, advisors, and the team.
Yeah. Then there's the foundation with 12.44% and a DAO Treasury also holding 20%. And finally, a small bit, 1.5% for liquidity.
So summing that up, Launchpool 2.5%, Airdrop 12%, investors, advisors 31.5%, team 20%, foundation 12.5%, DAO Treasury 20%. Liquidity 1.5%. That adds up.
It does. It's pretty typical for early projects, significant portions held back for funding, incentives, future governance.
Right. It means only a fraction is really liquid initially through things like the launch pool and the airdrop. The rest is held by insiders or reserved.
Which, brings up something important for you to think about. How does that play out over time? Who holds the influence early on?
Definitely. And you mentioned a token release schedule was part of the plan, too.
Yeah, the source mentioned it. We don't have the exact details here, but that schedule would show when more of those locked tokens, like for the team or investors, become available.
Crucial piece of info for understanding potential future selling pressure or supply changes.
Absolutely. Something to dig into if you're looking deeper. And Renzo does have community channels out there, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, Mirror for more info.
Good point. Okay, so let's recap quickly. Renzo is trying to make liquid restaking easier with its ezETH token.
Yep. And the REZ token is there for governing the protocol's future.
The initial circulating supply was relatively small, around 11.5%. Big chunks allocated to the team, investors, and future Treasury Foundation use.
That's the gist of it, based on that April 2024 snapshot.
So for you listening, Renzo offers a way into liquid restaking, and REZ offers a voice. But understanding that initial token distribution and the future release schedule is pretty key.
Which leads to maybe a final thought to chew on. what does it really mean when staked assets become liquid like this? How might that change network security? And how much real power will governance tokens like REZ actually have in shaping these decentralized platforms down the line?
Yeah. Lots to think about there. The evolution of governance and the impact of liquidity. Definitely worth keeping an eye on.